Despite the absence of official diplomatic relations and sanctions, Taiwan remains a crucial supplier of high-tech goods for Russia through third countries like China and Turkey. The main exports include machinery, microelectronics, and semiconductor production equipment, which are critical for Russia's defense industry.
The economic relations between Taiwan and Russia, I know that it's illegal, but they exist. So what about the arms?
First of all, I want to probably make a small clarification. If we are talking about Taiwan-Russia relationships, we need to understand that Taiwan as a state doesn't provide to Russia directly any equipment. Yes, this trade operation exists, but these operations exist thanks to private players in Taiwan and private players in Russia who, if we are talking about Russia, they are strongly connected to the state, but in Taiwan, we have a young but very promising and strong democracy. Such trade activities they're creating it thanks to such a tool as parallel import. So they're using third countries to provide Russia's necessary equipment because Taiwan imposed numerous of sanctions against Russia and Belarus back in 2022 and keep doing this. I can say that they did everything what they could. Obviously, there are a lot of space for improving the sanction policy, but a lot of private players in Russia and in Taiwan still try to find more ways how to establish or continue this type of cooperation through third countries, and the most popular hubs for parallel import for such operations. This is China, obviously, Kazakhstan, Emirates, and Turkey.
Taiwanese CNC machines and other equipment are essential for producing military equipment. Brands like Sunmil and Tongtai supply machinery to Russian defense enterprises, including Rostec. Russian companies often disguise the origin of this equipment by labeling it as domestic to bypass sanctions and participate in government defense contracts. Taiwanese microelectronics, including components from MPI Corporation, are actively used in Russian missile guidance systems, avionics, and radar technologies. Demand for these products surged after Western restrictions, and they are supplied via intermediaries in China and other countries.
Unfortunately, this is multi-billion business, and some players, not all, but some players think that money stands over their values. And this is not the best policy, not because of the values, but because also, not only because of the values, because if we are talking about business, it's probably not the best part of, not the best starter of your communication to start with values. But also it's important to understand for private players in Taiwan that all these technologies or equipment that they sell to Russia, especially through China, eventually can turn against Taiwan during potential Chinese occupation. But also I want to add some points to this irony of Taiwan-Russia cooperation communication, because Russia, yes, promotes, fully supports and promotes Chinese narratives against Taiwan, including these narratives about like brother nations and one country, obviously. But meanwhile, Russia has here in Taiwan a representative office. Russia listed Taiwan as an unfriendly country. So I think it's not according to Chinese policy to list Taiwan anywhere as an unfriendly country, because countries is the main word in this phrase. But still for Russia it's very important to find new ways to buy Taiwanese technologies, Taiwanese equipment, because frankly speaking, in Taiwan, there are a lot of manufacturers that provides probably one of the best or the best technologies all over the world. Especially we are talking about K-tools machine or like semiconductors. So, and all this equipment, they can be used in civil technologies, but also can be used in military technologies. So that is why for Russia it's very important to have this access through third countries or through some shady schemes to Taiwanese market to receive best of the best.
Sanctions are also circumvented through repackaging or creating supply chains via Kazakhstan and other countries. Taiwanese products are strategically significant for Russia in the face of its isolation from Western technologies, highlighting Russia's dependence on these imports despite official restrictions.
It may be that they themselves don't know what there's parts for.
Okay, this is a very common excuse if we are talking about parallel import when manufacturers, they just tell that we didn't know where it's the end point of these particular technologies. But also I can't, in my opinion, we can't rely on this statement because a lot of manufacturers, they probably know exactly what they are doing. Taiwan, as I told, the most popular products, goods that Russia wanna buy, this is K-machine tools and semiconductors, but obviously in Taiwan they have a lot of other technologies that they can buy and want to buy that can be used in civilian technologies and in military technology. But we also understand that if Russia wanna buy something right now, they don't want to use it for developing their civilian infrastructure technologies, obviously. So yes, and I think that if we are talking about manufacturers, I would say it's my opinion that most of them know exactly what they're doing. If we're talking about state, yeah, we have. I think that it's they aware about some of such operations, but also we need to understand that if we're talking about Russia or China, we probably know that all private players are not so private. And most likely we can consider them as state players. But if we're talking about democratic countries, any business activity can be just shut down without investigation proofs and others. So, but I want to say that for Taiwan, in Taiwan, this work is ongoing, not fast enough as for me, but also this is very important topic for Taiwan international partners, particularly USA, that works hard, that have been working hard to improve sanction policy, not only in Taiwan, but all over the world among all democratic partners. So this is a process. Unfortunately, there is not so many tools how we can speed up it. One of the tools probably might be a conversation with Taiwan and Ukrainian stakeholders who are responsible for such for such actions, but there is no such conversation, effective one at least for now, and this is also bad sign for us because we can see that according to different investigations, still this trade operation exists and Russia frequently used Taiwanese equipment for such actions. So with help of Ukrainian side who knows much more information, including details that we can spot on the battlefield, for example, and to analyze all the supply chain and to provide this help or to provide some communication that might help Taiwanese people to move faster in this direction. It would be more efficient, but for now, we still, as a state, we still continue to promote this thought that China is our strategic partner and promote also Chinese narrative about Taiwan. And now I'm talking about Kuleba's statement when he was on his visit to Guangzhou. So yeah, and this is the strategy that doesn't work for us, most likely against us.